Guys, it's been a while since I did a get ready with me like talk through. Like it's been like a really long time. Like depression is a motherfucker. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. Depression is a motherfucker. Let's just, me and you, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Life can get really crazy, but we need to focus on the positive that is yet to come. Doing my makeup, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I slay the makeup that you all love. When I come on camera all dolled up, I use the most expensive products to the most cheapest products. My method is very easy. I don't do anything that I don't think other people do. This is just the way I do my makeup. I've been doing my makeup like this for years. I don't want to change it. I don't care about trends of like, oh, the soft this and the natural this and the natural makeup. And no, I don't want natural makeup. I like heavy makeup. That's what I like. I like wigs and heavy makeup. I know there's been trends throughout the years of me being on this platform that has been like, oh, less makeup, very natural. I don't care about that. I'm gonna use primer. I use the Grwm primer. Came with a little scoop, but I don't know where the scoop went, so I just used my finger. I have a bump under my piercing. I know you guys can see that. It's okay, it happens all the time. It happened because I was using makeup yesterday, and when you put on makeup, it irritates it, but it always goes away, for me at least. Every time a bump comes, I just clean it, and like a day or two, it's gone. It really took me getting fired to really say, you know what? Let me get back on my shit. It really took me getting fired because I was getting comfortable. You know, when you get comfortable, that's not a good thing. Being uncomfortable is what you want out of life because that's somewhere where you're gonna be able to grow. You don't grow when you're comfortable. You're compliant. You're doing the same thing every day. You're used to it. When you're uncomfortable and you're changing up your routine and it's scary, scariness is good. That's what you need in your life. Well, for me, because I suffer from anxiety, so I know when I'm anxious, it's not a bad thing all the time. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's like, no, this is good anxiety. This is something that you're learning from, right? So I just rub it in. I try to like avoid this area right here because of my piercing. But yeah, pretty much I rub it in like every other primer. I'm sorry if I'm over explaining. I haven't done this video like this in a long time, so I'm like very new. And I have to realize that you guys aren't stupid and you guys know how to do your makeup by now, I'm pretty sure. So I don't really have to teach you anything. You guys are pros. I'm just gonna show you how I do mine, and that's that. Easy. I take a spoolie and I just brush my brows up, and I'll do a zoom in of how I really do my brows. So I just brush them up like that. My brows, I'm gonna be using e.l.f.'s, and it's their Lock-On Liner and Brow Cream. And it looks like this, and it is in the color Espresso. So yeah, guys, I got fired. I got fired. My cat is like, are you okay, mom? This is deja vu right now. Remember I used to film like this and Hershey would be right there looking at me. And then, you know, Hershey passed in 2019. That really took a big effect on my mental health. Since I got my cat 7, it's been like amazing. I don't even think I really talked about Hershey. I think a lot of you that watched me for a while remember Hershey. Yeah, Hershey died in 2019, and it was the saddest thing I've ever been through. I didn't want to let him go, like, you know. He was my best friend. He was there for me during like really dark times. This was pre-therapy Chrissy, so he was really there for me. He's seen a lot of craziness, like he experienced a lot with me, like, you crazy, you okay, girl? Because this is pre-therapy Chrissy, so, you know, rest in peace to Hershey. But yeah, I don't want to get into that. I just want to say it's nice to have my cat that I'm with 7, who's a baby, he's 1, and I get to grow up with him in my 30s and 40s and hopefully 50s. So it's just a beautiful full circle moment, and just doing this right now is like, I remember I used to do this and Hershey used to stare at me, and you know, blah, blah, blah. All right, enough with the mushy stuff. Let's get to the real tea. So I got fired yesterday. Remember I did a video a day ago, I think it was like a Saturday, and I was saying how I think I got fired. Well, now I don't think, I actually fucking know, because they sent me a text saying, you know, oh, the facility decided to stop your contract or end your contract. They say it's such a, like a, oh, they just didn't want your contract no more, instead of, yeah, you got fired. So I'm guessing the supervisor that I got into it with typed up a nice email as soon as I left the building and was like, oh no, she is not working here. She's not going to be talking to me like that in front of my other colleagues. Is she crazy? I am the supervisor. I'm the highest of the highest. I've went to school for years. I'm the best of the best. I can talk to people however I want. How dare this little CNA say that to me? How dare she? So yeah, and then, you know, my agency, aside from working at the facility, I've been with my agency. If you hear that noise, it's my cat literally using the bathroom. So aside from working at the facility, I've been with the agency for a year, and like, I didn't even get like a good luck, you know, good luck on your journey. It was great working with you for a whole fucking year. It was just very like, oh, the facility ended your contract, you cannot go back into the facility. That was it. So yeah, and I'm sorry if I forget what I said. I'm 30 fucking 4 now, so I forget. So yeah. So hold on, I have to be quiet when I do this part because I'll just carve out this. The job I had before I was a CNA was YouTube. I was a full-time content creator, full-time, like, and that was for about 5 years. I was full-time. I don't know if you guys remember that time I lived in Brooklyn and I was living with roommates, 5 of them. If you guys remember that era of my life, that was a very fun era. I was single. I was like in my late 20s. I was skinny. This was pre-therapy, so I was just crazy and I was just having so much fun and yeah, making so much money. And then before that, I worked at a department store, retail store, before that for 3 years, and I hated it, like hated it. I still use this. I don't know if anybody still uses these, but I do, and I love it. So, but yeah, I worked at a retail store for 3 years. I was a cashier. It was a luxury department store is what you would call it. It wasn't like Gucci luxury, but it was like they sold a lot of those type of products in the store. And I loved it only because they had like great house stuff, and I love housing stuff. That was the only thing, like the section that I would literally use my discounts on was the housing stuff, like for my dog and stuff like that. Anyway, so I hated that job, and eventually I got fired from there because I was late a lot, because there was a lot going on in my home at the time that I'm not gonna get into. But I was late a lot, and I think it was just like the 3rd year I was working there, and I was just over it. And I know that sounds so bad and unprofessional, but I don't want any like future employer, if I need to freaking work again, I don't want no future employers to be watching this and be like, oh my god, she's a bad employer. No, I'm not. It's just that I was there for so long and it was so much happening within the company, and they actually shut down like a year after that anyway. So anyway, it was just so much going on, and I was making year 3, and I was just like tired of the place. And you know, I started getting like, when I started getting like sloppy. Like I would come in late, I wouldn't call out, like stuff like that. Like I started getting comfortable and sloppy, and they fired me. And I remember I went on unemployment. And when I went on unemployment, the checks that I was making from my job, I was using that to invest in this. And then, you know, I was just doing this full time, and I got really, really big, and I just didn't need to, you know, work a real job, quote unquote, is what people say anymore. After COVID, I moved back in with my family, because I wasn't living with my family at the time. I moved back in with my family during COVID because it was something that nobody knew what was going on. it was like a pandemic, right? Like we've never been through a pandemic, so I didn't want to be living with strangers, and I didn't want to be, you know, and I was like, I need to be home with my family. So that's when I moved out and I went back home with my family, but it wasn't going to be long term. I was like, I'm only going to be here until I can find, you know, until the pandemic is over, because we didn't even know if it was going to be over. We didn't know what was happening. I just wanted to be with my family, point blank, period. So when the pandemic ended, I would say, like, you know, I got my CNA license in 2020. And because I was like, you know what, I need a job. The YouTube wasn't doing as well as it was, and I wasn't even focused on YouTube. I was just thinking about the pandemic. I was nervous. I was scared. And then living with family, like I couldn't film as much as I wanted to because, you know, other family members lived there. So, okay, so my brows are carved out, and I'm gonna use the same concealer, and I'm gonna do my highlights. So, yeah, I moved back home with my family. And I was just really focusing on like what this COVID shit was about, because I was fucking terrified. Right. So I wasn't really thinking about YouTube like that. And then like by then, you know, my YouTube wasn't as big as it was because I neglected it. I wasn't on it as much. I didn't post as much, and Views go down. When views go down, money goes down on YouTube. When money goes down on YouTube, sponsorship goes down. It used to be times where I would check my email. It was times that I actually needed an assistant. Like really, like it was so many emails, I could not keep up with it. To the point where like I would miss opportunities because I had so many emails, to the point where I was literally like, do I need to hire an assistant? Because I can't do all of this shit by myself, you know, to literally not getting like 1 or 2 sponsored emails. And I'm like, okay, this is dry as hell. It got to that point. So I said, you know what, I need to work, obviously. And I seen that they were always hiring CNAs in New York. I was like, CNAs? I didn't even know what that was. I didn't. And so I looked into it. I went to a class and I got my license 2020. And I started becoming a CNA. It was fucking horrible when I first started. I cried my first day. The other CNAs were so mean. I was like, oh my God, I never met women that are older than me that are black also being so mean. Like, what? Like, I don't know if I was naive. I think because I haven't really worked out in the work field force in a while. So like going back into it and everybody being so mean, I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember I cried my first day, like, this can't be my life. Like, I'm meant to be rich and fabulous and like living in a mansion and having my own business and like living fabulously. I'm not meant to be working for the man and miserable with these miserable people. So yeah, it was definitely like a wake-up call, like, yeah, girl, well, get on your shit, you know. And so after that, that's when I learned about travel CNA. And I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this and make good money. I'm not gonna do this and be broke. And then that's when I started traveling as a CNA, and I started documenting my process. And, you know, that helped me, I guess, get more engagement on my channel as well, because I think that people like to see traveling things. And all was well, but I never meant to be a CNA for that long. I didn't. I actually, the place that fired me, I stopped working there to take a contract, and when I came back, they still hired me again because they needed people or whatever the case is, which was great. But yeah, I never really meant to be a CNA for as long as I did. I guess I just got comfortable. So I go in with a lighter concealer. I go in with natural, and it looks like this. It's lighter, not a little bit, it's a lot lighter than me, obviously, as you can see, but it brightens up under the eyes. But I don't use a lot, I only use a little bit. So I'll do like this. I'll do like 1, 2, 3, like 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll do like 1, 2, 3, 3 dots on my nose and 1 dot right there. Like literally, I don't want it to be super like noticeable, like I'm trying to look light, but I want it to brighten up the areas that I highlighted. Now I'm panicking. I just moved. I just got my own place after forever. Yeah. And we're not gonna sit here and act like we're an easy dude. I'm not gonna sit here and be all like, oh, you know, I'm rich influencer, I'm rich. Let me really give you a tea on being a YouTuber and influencer that a lot of these influencers and YouTubers do not tell you about, because it's a lifestyle and it's an image that they want to portray, and it's an image that they want to keep. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a rich influencer. Yes, I still get YouTube checks to this day. To this day, I still get YouTube checks, okay? I don't think I'll ever stop getting YouTube checks. Now, my YouTube checks are not as big as they were when I first started YouTube. Not when I first started, because it wasn't that big when I first started. My peak, because everybody has their peak. My peak, 2016, 2017, 2018 was like high. Those were the biggest checks that I got from YouTube. I would say it's like 65% of that amount. Okay, let's be real. So yeah, I'm just gonna tap that down my nose. Nothing crazy. Okay. So yeah, but let me explain to you. Being a Black influencer is not for the fucking weak, especially when you're in the hair business. I got to a point in my career that I hated working with hair companies. Like, I was over it. I can honestly say I've worked with every single hair company you see on Instagram. I've worked with them, I guarantee you. They may have changed their fucking name 50 times. I've worked with them to the point where they'll email me now like, oh, we would love to do a collaboration with you, and I'll tell them my rate, and they'll say, oh, well, for the first collaboration, and I have to stop you right there. What do you mean first? I've worked with y'all several fucking times from 2016 to fucking now. But of course, you guys don't really care about this hair market. You just hire new workers, and they don't even know who they work with, and then you think that you're talking to somebody new. Well, you're talking to an OG right now. You didn't always just get the wig and install it on your head like everybody do now, like, oh, 1, 2, 3, and just get all this money. Oh no. I used to be in my room, which wasn't that big by the fucking way, with at least like 6 mannequins around me doing 6 wigs at the same time. Closure, sewing. At my room used to look like hair flying all over the place, needles, hair products, but I was getting paid. I'm gonna say that. But it would be like, I would be in my room for like a good week, literally, barely eating, just making wigs. And then I did this thing where I would tell them to pay me 50% up front because you're not gonna fuck me over, and 50% after that. So what I would do is, like, after I done my wigs and I got all my 50% from all of them, I would go travel. I would literally go somewhere and travel, and then like I would have the video already like pre-uploaded on my channel. So when I'm traveling, I let them know like the video is ready to be uploaded. You just gotta send me the rest of the money, baby. And they would send me the rest of the money, and then I would just be having a ball. I would extend my trip. It was like, life was amazing, child. It was just like money was coming in my sleep. Like, I would wake up to like, you got this, this company paid you, this company paid you. And I'd just be like, oh my fucking God. Like, I used to just spoil myself because I had no kids. I still have no kids, but I had no kids. I was really young. I was single. So I was just like living the fucking life. Okay, I think this is all dry and blended. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my angle brush, and I have to wash my brushes. I'm sorry if they're still dirty, I have to wash them. Take my angle brush, and I'm going to be going in with my Juvia's Place Bronzy, and it's in dark, and I love this palette. It has like a brown and then like a darker, I would say like an orangey brown right here. I'm going to take the top one, and I'm going to contour my face. Oh my God, y'all, I didn't put on foundation. Oh my God, I'm sitting here talking, I didn't put on foundation. This is the foundation I use, the MAC Studio Fix. I'm gonna try to put it on. Like, I'm gonna have to like do this over, cause I'm looking at my hands like, why the fuck do I see blemishes and shit like that? Don't worry, this is gonna be fast, listen. But this is the foundation I use, y'all. I have to go back in with my foundation. I can't just have no foundation on. Like, I need my face beat for the gods. So, I literally forgot to put on foundation. That's crazy. But it won't be that bad because I could just blend this in and then I could just do everything over. So I put my foundation on. I use the MAC Studio Fix and NC60. I take my beauty blender and I just do like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with the highlight, just a little bit because you can still kind of see it. I'm gonna use the light one. Okay, just go my forehead, down my nose a little bit, on my eyelids. I'm actually just gonna mix the I'm gonna mix I'm gonna mix this one, and I'm gonna mix this with the natural, and I'm gonna mix it with the fawn. And I apologize, you guys, for like literally starting this shit all over again, but this is what happened. This is real shit. Anyway, so now I'm gonna blend that in, and then we can do my contour. Like, after my YouTube wasn't doing as well as it was, you know, it was depressing, because you go from getting all these views and making so much money to nobody even hitting you up. And you know, then me working as a CNA, I was always tired, like I was always exhausted. And I had the right to. Being a CNA is tired work. And then when I first started as a CNA, I wasn't night shift, I was day shift. So I was like giving 3 showers a day, feeding twice a day, getting people ready for their appointments. Then a lot of these people have dementia. A lot of these people don't want to be touched, you know, and then they tell you what you have to, and they want to kick you and punch you and hurt you. It's just a very tiring job. And I don't know, they don't mean to do it, but it's just, that doesn't make it less not tiring. Just because they don't mean to kick you and punch you doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It still fucking hurts. So going through all of that, I just was in survival mode. I wasn't even like wanted to create content. And it's crazy because in 2019, I won an award for Influencer of the Year from Beauty Biz. And you know, after that, you know, you would think you won an award for your work, and you would think that after that, more opportunities would come to you. And no, I didn't get a lot of opportunities. Now I'm going to highlight my face. I like to highlight my face before I bake and after I bake, because I feel like when I bake my face with the highlight on, it looks like the highlight is coming from within. That makes sense. I'm gonna go in with my Belgian waffle contour, what is it, highlight, 6 color baked bronzer and highlight palette. And it's from BH Cosmetics. Yes, I still use BH Cosmetics, and I live for BH Cosmetics. And I'm just gonna go into it with my brush, and I go down my nose. And then I do in this area right here. So it looks like where the light is shining, it's hitting boom, 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 boom. That's where you want your highlight. For when the light hits and it's lights, camera, action, this is what you're gonna see, okay? I use the Sasha Buttercup Setting Powder. Looks like that. Shake it up, and this is how it looks. It's yellow powder, and I just put it under my eyes. I set my face. And I let that sit for a good 5 minutes, so we can kiki for 5 minutes, and then we can get on with the rest of it, darling. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my MAC Studio Fix. Oh no, this is not MAC Studio Fix. My MAC Studio Fix in NC45, and I use that to dust off all this powder. Now, prior to the MAC Studio Fix, what I use as a dupe, I use the BH Studio Pro. It looks just like the MAC Studio Fix, the same shit. This is shade 235, and I think I also use shade 240. If I can't find a 35, because they literally stopped selling them. They had so many shades, and I think the only shade they have now is like 250. I feel like I could have been bigger than what I am now, and it makes me sad. And like even family and friends, and like, you know, it can make you feel bad. Like, you're so big on this thing. Why are you working? And you should be rich by now. You should be in LA rich and da-da-da-da, and have all these brand deals and da-da-da-da by now. Mental illness is hard. I've seen even actresses, celebrities, like, I don't want to give anybody as an example because I don't want to put nobody out there, put nobody down, but I've seen actresses that was like at the top of the game, and they lost themselves to mental illness. Like, you see them now, or I saw them when I was growing up, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And you're like, oh my gosh, she was so pretty. She was on so many shows, and that's what mental illness could do. And it's not our fault. I know it's not my fault. My mental illness stems from my trauma, and my trauma is definitely not my fucking fault. Okay guys, my face is all baked, as you can see. I'm gonna go back in. If you hear some noise, my boyfriend just came in and he just making some noise, chat. but we gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna go back in because I feel like when I do set my face with the powder, it takes away from my contour. And so I'm just gonna go, wait, I didn't blend this part out. Gotta make sure everything is blended to perfection, honey. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with my contour just because I feel like it gets removed. And you just have to drop shit. And I feel like it gets removed when I do my powder, so I'm just gonna go and blend it in again. We'll order food after I'm finished, okay? I'm not gonna be that long. Love you. I love you. Love. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with my blush, you know, so it does the job, and that's all that matters, you know what I mean? So all that matters is that it does the job, because we want to make sure that our face is nice and snatched, and you know, we want to make sure that we're baked really well, because that's really important, you know what I mean? So yeah, just do it like that. Now I'm going to go in with my liquid liner, and for that I have to because I need to focus when I do my liquid liner, and I'm going to be using Wet n Wild, and it is their breakup proof waterproof liquid eyeliner. It's my favorite one that I use. It's like a pen, and it has a really pointy tip. You guys can see that. So it's really good for getting that good Nicki Minaj liner that I do. So I just make an outline first. I outline it and then I just fill it in. That's it. Okay, that is the end of this chit chat. Get ready with me. My camera died in the middle of me talking, so if that part cut off, that's why. But I installed the wig off the camera because it was way too long to take the charge and I had things to do, so I installed it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do like it because I feel like when the wigs look too natural, it kind of takes away the fun. So I like the fact that this doesn't look like 100% natural. It still has like that wiggy look, and I actually kind of like that. Just doing these chats with you guys, I just, like I said, my mental health hasn't been the best. The job I had, the housing, and now that I am free from all those things, well, I'm not free from my mental illness. Still got that. But I am managing it. I think now I'm definitely able to give you guys more content, better content. I asked you guys what you wanted to see, and I'm going to take all of your advice and literally give you all of that. And I'm taking it day by day, and I think that's all that matters. Love all of you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. But until then, keep slaying.